I'd already seen plenty of the outskirts of Nizhny Novgorod, but it was time to get out and take a proper look at the region's capital.
It's always good to get a bit of local knowledge on these trips, so I'm off to meet a man who's going to help me get to know Nizhny Novgorod a little bit better. Siegfried.
Oh. James, how are you?
Nice to meet you. So, you're going to show me a little bit of Nizhny?
I want to show you first the Kremlin.
Fantastic.
Have you ever been to the Kremlin?
Siegfried moved here from Germany back in 2006. Within a few months he was married, getting regular work as a translator, and he's lived here ever since.
So what would you say some of your favourite things are about the city?
It is the Russian architecture. These old houses, I will show you some of them, and you will visit one of these architectural monuments right now in the Kremlin.
This huge stone citadel was built from 1500 to 1511, but most of its original buildings were destroyed during the Soviet Union. Nowadays it houses Nizhny's local government, but it's still an imposing place to walk, right in the heart of the city. Nizhny's monuments and architecture have earned it a place on UNESCO's 100 Cities of the World of Great Cultural and Historical Value, and Siegfried had one more striking example for me.
So, James, please have a look at this beautiful old building. It was built in the 19th century, and it was the house of coupiers, of tradesmen.
Right. Cool. Must have been a successful trade.
The regional museum.
What do you think visitors to Nizhny Novgorod can expect?
They can expect a very friendly town with much sights.
And that hospitality also applies to one of Nizhny's most cutting-edge attractions. So, finally I could back up, corner and turn with complete precision. And that meant I was ready to head to a brand new Nizhny landmark.
So I think we've probably got the worst conditions you could possibly have for driving. It's a day to be inside, or at the very least, walk. But here in Nizhny Novgorod, there is a place where you can burn rubber, whatever the weather.
You're looking for me, aren't you?
I think I am, sir.
Come in.
Let's check this place out.
Let's go.
Okay.
Sergei works at the N-Ring, the country's only FIA-approved motorsport circuit.
All right, James. You're at the major motorsport venue in Russia, the N-Ring circuit.
N-Ring.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got a racing track out there. Right here to the right, we will be building the main building.
So there's going to be a lot of people here then, probably?
Yes, sure. Last summer we've had more than 6,000 people at our opening, so...
And you've still got things to build?
Sure.
There's some wintry techniques, I see.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And now, while they're after practicing here, they'll be driving way safer on roads.
And that's sort of the thing you'll be teaching me a few tricks as well, huh?
Sure, I'll show you how to do it.
Great.
The first turn is the most challenging one. We've had the biggest number of crashes in this turn in winter.
Right, that's always good to know.
As I could barely see a thing, I was hoping I'd just be able to get a feel for the track. But Sergei was able to give me a few good tips.
So you brake here,
yeah,
and you try to select the shortest possible distance. Here you can brake a little bit less.
A bit more there.
Next lap, you'll just do a straight gas.
After a few circuits, I'd got my lap time down, which was useful because I had a different type of challenge up ahead.
Okay, you know, apex, braking late, so you can do it.
Hello.
Hey guys, so don't you want to race with them?
I think we do.
Okay, let's go.
Right.
Let's go.
Eat my snow, Mitsubishi man.
decided we'd do 5 laps. I was getting the better of things on the straight, but those corners were still proving tricky.
I'm really having to fight an urge to drive like an old grandma in these conditions. Safe and secure, James. Hands at 10 and 2.
But that wasn't going to win me any races, so I hit the accelerator and hoped.
Actually, I'm not too far behind here. I could squeeze past him on this turn.
And with a cunning last lap overtake, I took the checkered flag.
Haha, fantastic. OK, I'm probably not going to make the Touring Car Championships, but if I ever get into a wintry car chase, I'm sorted.
But my need for speed was still unfulfilled. Fortunately, down by the banks of the Volga, there's plenty more where that came from.
Now, I've had the chance to try out some pretty fast machines on discovering Russia, but here in the Nizhny Novgorod region, they've created a masterpiece of maritime and avionic design, and she's a record breaker.
These are ekranoplanes, a cross between a ship and an aeroplane, and they're the fastest commercial amphibious vehicle on the planet. They're designed to effectively fly on a cushion of air just above the water's surface, and were originally developed under a cloak of secrecy in the 1960s. But after the Soviet Union collapsed, so did the project, and it's only recently that smaller versions have been built here in the Nizhny region by Ruben Nagapetyan and his company. And the Aquaglide 5 is their pride and joy.
So a mixture of fiberglass, polystyrene makes up most of the body of the ekranoplane, so you see how light this is going to be.
The Aquaglide takes a 5-litre Mercedes engine, runs on petrol, and she's designed as an upmarket water taxi.
So here we have it, a fully functional Aquaglide 5. And because she's amphibious, the fact that this river is frozen won't matter a jot. We're still going to be able to fly. And you can see it even looks like a plane cockpit inside here as well. So I think for a change, I'm going to take a break from driving and just relax for this one.
Once my pilot was in, it was time to sit back, enjoy the ride, and wait for the speedometer to reach the magic number.
So we've just crossed the 100-kilometre-an-hour barrier, and now we have liftoff. Literally, we're flying across the ice now.
And that was just the start. We moved past 170 kilometers an hour, and despite the speed, it was still an incredibly smooth trip. If you do happen to have a spare $500,000 lying around, I'd highly recommend one.
Can't believe I was really flying just a couple of centimetres above this river. That is a pretty special taxi ride.
Sadly, I was going to have to hit the roads again if I wanted to get back to Moscow. But I still wanted to pick up some authentic Nizhny souvenirs, and for those, there's really only one place to go.
Now, sadly, I haven't been elevated to the aristocracy, but I am in, I think, the grandest gift shop that I've ever seen, because this region is the birthplace of one of Russia's most famous and lavish painting styles, and it has souvenirs fit for a king.
This is Hochlamar folk art. It was developed here in the 17th century, and almost 400 years on, the industry is still thriving. The style takes simple items, then paints them to give them an appearance of great value. And my guide Oksana was ready to show me how it was done.
So this is actually a wooden bowl. It's made to look like clay, but then it has this special oil applied to it which shines it up, and then the ladies here put on this aluminium powder, and then it's almost ready to be fired.
But first it goes through one more process.
One for the alchemist, this, turning base metal into gold.
Hochlamar is a serious business. The factory employs nearly 1,600 people, and customers will pay a high price for their work. And there's almost no limit to what they'll paint.
There's some great custom jobs they've got as well, eh? I think I'd be afraid to click that. I want to damage it.
I wasn't in the market for a laptop, but I did want something original to take home. So Oksana offered to help me in a little DIY project.
Okay. Get some Master Hochlamar art tips.
I was working with the traditional colours of red and black, but they don't really go in for broad strokes here.
A lot of small, delicate lines.
And then suddenly, it just all came together.
And there we go. You see? Isn't it amazing how your artistic abilities can develop with just a little concentration?
My trip to the Nizhny Novgorod region had been a roller coaster ride. I'd seen modern businesses, visited historical monuments, and tried my hand at the delicate and dainty to just plain dangerous. Siegfried was right. Whether you're a culture buff, an adrenaline junkie, or just passing through, Nizhny Novgorod will welcome you in with open arms.